1 year later, literally in the same spot. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's already been a year since I posted that one video where I just sat and reflected on the year. I've gone back and I've watched that video a few times, and I just think it's so exciting to be like a year later. Oh, guys, we have so much to share and so much to catch up on. Actually, first we're gonna talk about prayers that God has just answered in my life this year. I will not be able to name all of them because I cannot remember all of them, to be honest. There's been so many, but I will name the big ones that like have actually changed my life drastically. Number one, my whole family loves and follows Jesus. Biggest prayer of my life answered, actually. Number two, I got to go on my first mission trip this year. I will still say that's the coolest thing I've ever done, and I want to go on another one. I got to go to Italy this year. Bro, that was so fun. I went with Sophia. Where are you going, sir? We had such a fun time. This has been such a cool year. Following up from last year, I know we talked a lot about what I was excited for God to be doing in my life and using me for. The mission trip was one piece of it that I did not see coming. I think I knew about my mission trip that I was going like 2 months in advance, but I'm so glad I went. I think shortly after I had made that video last year, talking about how God has provided opportunities for me to go and share my faith and people, I've had many more opportunities to grow in that, and truly I feel like I have a new direction of what the purpose of my life is on this earth, and that has come by learning more of God's heart for the nations. Even a year ago, I was just lacking so much knowledge about how much God loves the people around the world. I was just so comfortable and so okay with my life here in the United States and thought that's all there really is to this life with Jesus. But it ain't, y'all. It ain't. My church, I'm so thankful for my church. My church is so rooted and focused on reaching the nations. So yeah, with that, I have gotten so much more of the Lord and his heart for the world, but also for me and the people in my life. He's given me this new desire to use the gift of encouragement that he's given me. I love to verbally encourage people, but even through this new purpose he's given me in my life, he's given me the desire to speak that out in other people as well and encourage them in that. It's a God thing, bro. It's a God thing. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna be called to go overseas and live overseas. I have like thought about and talked about that with many people this year. There's a lot that would need to happen before that would even happen. But I think where I'm at is my hands are just open either way. I'm truly content with staying or going. Yeah, so that's like the biggest update I would say. I am just so thankful for everything that I've gotten to experience this year and just expectant of this next year. I get to celebrate 2 of my best friends getting married next year, so that's already on the docket, we know. I'm very open to going on / leading a trip. But I think one of the biggest things God has taught me this year is being faithful where I'm at today. I just think it's so amazing to look back at and reflect. Something I said 2 nights ago that kind of just applies for my whole life is that I couldn't have written this story myself, and I wouldn't have written this story myself. But God is kind and God is faithful. He loves me enough to say no and not yet, and actually wait, look, this is what I have for you. And it's all about him. It's all about him. It's not about me. A way and a resource that God has given me to be faithful here is through a DMI, which is a discipleship making intensive group through my church. When I got back from my mission trip this summer, immediately I jumped into a 10-week group where we had rhythms of meeting together once a week, training in different tools, going out into the lost, sharing, using these tools, loving on people, praying for people, praying as a group together once a week, and focusing on our own time with the Lord during the week. So I was a part of one this summer. It was just a girls group. It was so amazing, and I'm so glad I did it. And then that one ended, and then 3 weeks later, I started co-leading one with one of my friends that I did a DMI with. And next week is our last week. A year ago, I asked God to help me to share my faith with people, y'all. That is literally my life now. Am I perfect at it? No. Do I still get intimidated and uncomfortable when doing it? Yes. But God has made for there to be a way to do it and be sustained in it, and to do that with him and with other people. And he led me straight to that door, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, so I think that's it. This video felt a little less organized. The most important thing I want to say is that God knows what he's doing. He hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't given up on your story. He knows your story because he's the one who's written it, and he's fully present and within your story. I pray that all of us, including me, have eyes this week to see where God is in our story, to see where He is, to see what He's doing, where His hands are. And we may not see it, but in His word we can know that these things are true. Look back. Don't go back, but look back and see where He has already been faithful, big or small. Look at other people's lives. Don't compare, but look for God in other people's lives. How have their prayers been answered? How have you seen God provide for other people? The point is that we get to see God working, and what a gift it is to be able to see that in the first place. I was just super excited to make this because I love getting to share what God has done in my life. And don't get me wrong, there have been plenty of low moments this year too. But that's not what I'm leaving this year remembering. I'm rejoicing. And I'm full of hope and gratitude. I hope you can say the same.